morning, everyone. This week we're going to continue talking about inferring with poetry. Last week we looked at two different poems. We looked at the poem about the snowflake and talked about how all of the words supported that image in our mind. And then you worked on a poem of your own, trying to make your own inference. So first let's check in on that poem. I'll read it again quickly. I jiggled it, jaggled it, jerked it. I pushed and pulled and poked it. But as soon as I stopped and left it alone, this blank came out on its very own. I'm curious. I saw some of your papers that you turned in, and I know what you were thinking. And some of you might have done the work at home and not sent it in yet. So I'm curious, what did you think that poem was about? You want to say it on three? 1, 2, 3. I thought it was about a tooth also, because I can jiggle a tooth, jiggle it, jerk it. I can push it and pull it and poke at it. But sometimes when you leave it alone, that tooth comes out on its very own. Just like in My Very Strange Teeth with Julian. Once he stopped trying and he just bit into the apple, that tooth came out. So I loved looking at all of the writing you turned in last week about that poem. And I'll show you an example. Here's what mine looked like when it was done. And now today we're going to continue working with inferring. Remember, inferring is when you use your background knowledge, what you already know from your experiences and everything you've done in your life. So you use your background knowledge and the evidence, the words that are in the text or poem, and you create your own idea or image in your head, and then you check, does that answer or idea you're thinking of make sense with all the words in the poem? So let's try it out today with this poem. Now, remember, one of the things we learned about poets is sometimes they look at something ordinary in a whole new way. So thinking about something maybe that isn't alive and making it or comparing it to something that is. So when an author describes something, always keep that in mind, that they're being creative and you're really having to think, what could they be describing in this new and inventive way? Ready? Here's the new poem for the week. White sheep on a blue hill. When the wind stops, you all stand still. When the wind blows, you walk away slow. White sheep, where did you go? Now remember, we want to think through the poem in a certain order. So we want to read all the words. Think about the meaning of those words. What do you picture while you're reading? So I know what a sheep looks like. I see a sheep and it's standing on a hill, but wait, in my mind, the hill's green because it's covered with grass. The poem said blue hill, so that's different. Do all the words support the image I have? So I haven't thought about it yet. Let's see, I haven't come up with my idea. When the wind stops, you all stand still. So white sheep, it's on a blue hill instead of a green hill. The wind stops, they stop. When the wind blows, you walk away slow. So it's like the wind is pushing. White sheep, where did you go? Do you have an idea in your mind? Let's check it against all the words. So do all of the words support the idea or image in your mind? Let's read the poem again to see if it matches your inference. Ready? White sheep on a blue hill. When the wind stops, you all stand still. When the wind blows, you walk away slow. White sheep, where did you go? So remember, your job is to think about what this poem is about. There's no blank in this poem, so you're kind of thinking about the title or what is this author writing about. You're going to write about your inference on your paper from your packet. It says, I am inferring this poem is about, and fill in the blank. What do you think this is about? And then here's where you use your evidence to support. When I read, maybe you choose the words, when I read, when the wind stops, you all stand still, that reminds me of, and then tell why those words made you think of your idea. And then choose another example. When I read blank, copy some words from the poem and explain how those words made you think of your idea. We'll check in with this in our next video so you can find out what the author of this poem was writing about and see if your inference was the same. Off you go. Remember, use your evidence to support your idea about what the poem is all about.